Hello, hello! It's once again been quite a while since I've put out a YouTube video. If you happen to be new here, I'm R.U.S.H, and I'm working on an indie 3D fighter inspired by classic Tekken called R.U.S.H, Rival Ultimate Steel Hand. I released the first public prototype build for R.U.S.H all the way back in March. A lot has happened since then, and I haven't been able to make any updates here on YouTube because I've been so busy working on the game. I've been updating the game frequently. There's new mechanics, new moves, new visuals, and the netcode and netplay UX have been improved and fleshed out greatly. With the introduction of a lobby system and tons of tweaking and optimization over the past several months, R.U.S.H's netcode is practically feature complete, and it's long been clear that R.U.S.H is sporting arguably the best netcode to ever exist in a fighting game. I'm serious. I still can't even believe how good it is. You can't distinguish Wi-Fi from wired in a world where mainstream fighting games can't even handle a 100 milliseconds wired connection. I live in Midwest USA and regularly play against players in Europe and Russia with no extra input delay, like they're sitting right next to me. And of course, just like the original prototype, every new build is public and completely free to download and play online. You can find it on Itch.io by clicking the link in this video's description, and you can also join my developer Discord to stay updated on progress and chat with me and other like-minded R.U.S.H heads. Since the first prototype drop, a bunch of awesome artists have jumped on board to lend their expertise in their free time to help make this project happen, between art and music in particular. You're actually listening to some of that music right now. R.U.S.H even went to EVO. The game had an indie booth at EVO Vegas, where a ton of people played the game non-stop and got to experience what a real 3D fighting game could play like if the developers locked in and really tried to make a three-dimensional fighting game with real 3D movement and real 3D strategy. This game's appearance at EVO Vegas also coincided with the launch of our Kickstarter. The goal for the Kickstarter is $55,000 dues, and the plan is that this money will allow me to continue working on R.U.S.H full-time for a whole year, as well as pay some of these awesome artists and musicians for their help in bringing this project to life. The ultimate objective would be to release R.U.S.H onto Steam Early Access as a complete product with a lot of room for improvement. On the Kickstarter, you can actually see the official designs for Red Dude and Blue Dude, officially named Barracks and Aquila, as well as listen to some of the music that our kick-ass musicians have been putting together behind the scenes, and learn more about the direction and overall rationale for the project. This may be the first you're hearing of the Kickstarter, and if it is, I don't blame you. I'm not a publisher with the resources to market this game with paid promotion or anything like that. R.U.S.H relies entirely on word of mouth to get around, and people willing to play the game openly and advocate for it. We did as much outreach as we could leading up to the campaign, but unfortunately, coverage for R.U.S.H and its Kickstarter just didn't turn out like we expected, and I've unfortunately been way too busy working on finishing the lobby system to help promote the game myself. I'll admit I probably bit off a bit more than I could chew by launching this Kickstarter alongside active development. There's definitely a lot more I was hoping to add to the game before the Kickstarter went live, like new moves and stuff, but that's just how game development goes sometimes. Everything always takes longer than you expect. The amount of money that has been raised is badass, and I couldn't be more thankful for the support I've gotten so far. But obviously, at 12% of the 55k goal, things aren't looking good for this campaign. And this is where we gotta take our dose of reality. As I release this video, there are only 2 days left before R.U.S.H's Kickstarter campaign is over. Now, not all hope is lost. Lobbies are now in the game, and they're working like a dream, so I've been streaming open lobbies on my Twitch channel, also called R.U.S.H, every day at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to play R.U.S.H with the people, showcase what it has to offer, rant about the pathetic state of fighting game netcode, and talk about my plans for the game in the short term and long term. Even if you can't support the game financially, you can still make a big difference by showing the game off yourself on Twitch or YouTube, or dropping by my stream and showing the world how you would beat my ass if you had the chance. Show off some hashtag good ass rush, so to speak. I'm still giving this campaign a college try before we have to throw in the towel, and I could really use your help. I'll appreciate it way more than any multi-million-dollar corporation ever will. If you want to play a 3D fighting game made by a 3D fighting game fan, or 3D fighting game fans, please consider sounding off about R.U.S.H and pledging to the Kickstarter if you can. To be clear, if the Kickstarter doesn't succeed, that doesn't mean that this game is dead. I'll still be doing my best to keep working on R.U.S.H, and you can still support me on Itchio, Patreon, and Ko-fi. However, if the Kickstarter doesn't pan out, the future of the project will be a little more uncertain since, it won't have any guaranteed funding. I'm gonna close out this quick update by playing the pitch video that I uploaded along with the Kickstarter. It's not the prettiest editing job I've ever done, but if any of you watching this happen to be new to this project, it'll break down what R.U.S.H is and hopefully convince you that this game is worth supporting. Please enjoy, and I'll see you next time.
What I do respect is when somebody goes, fuck this, I'm gonna do it myself. So it turns out there is a project, the word is spreading, and it is called R.U.S.H.
Boop. Ah! Fuck! What?
This game is so real?
I actually have to play a 3D game.
The options, like you were pointing out, they're almost limitless, and you get so much like player expression.
And it makes you want to move. You're like, oh, okay, come on. Come on, get this work. Pow!
Oh, nice. Are you lying?
Play this damn game. Meow.
I feel like I want to play this shit more often. This shit is fire.
Oh shit! Oh, go! He's going for it. Ah! Oh!
Hello. I'm R.U.S.H, and for the past year, I've been developing my own 3D fighting game called Rival Ultimate Steel Hand, or R.U.S.H for short. R.U.S.H is a 3D fighting game with a heavy focus on movement and strategy, inspired by old-school 3D fighters and the unique way that they emulate real-world combat sports. Almost one whole year ago, I stopped playing Tekken to pursue the goal of capitalizing on the missed potential of 3D fighters to do just that. I also set out to prove that a 3D fighting game can have great netcode that allows you to challenge yourself against players across the world in an industry full of fighting games that are decades behind in netcode quality. This project is totally independent, developed all by myself in the Unity engine with all of my own game logic and netcode. R.U.S.H is a labor of love that aims to capture what myself and many others in the community really want out of a modern-day 3D fighter. A fundamental skill-based game that rewards effective three-dimensional movement, timing, and punishment with smooth online play built from the ground up for the modern age of the internet. You can play the prototype for free right now on itch.io using the link below. When I first released the public prototype in March of this year, the overwhelming community response was that I was holding gold in the palm of my hand, and it proved two things. First, a 3D fighting game can have great netcode.
The netcode in this game is pretty good. And by pretty good, I mean better than what I experienced in Tekken 8. I'm willing to try like any region.
R.U.S.H is developed and optimized first and foremost for robust rollback netcode, and it shows.
You're playing against a guy in Eastern Europe, Russia? That's insane. Wait, this feels so good for a person in Europe, in Russia. What the hell? What the fuck is this black magic? This feels really, like, responsive.
We're talking USA to Russia, USA to Japan. Play in 200 milliseconds ping with no extra input delay, as if bro is sitting right next to you. I'm not pulling your leg. This is real. R.U.S.H also proves that you don't need bloated mechanics, 100 different characters, nerfed movement, non-stop mix-ups, or meter systems to create a fighting game that exemplifies player expression and strategic interaction, while being exhilarating to both play and watch.
Sometimes I feel like just boxing you and like trying to restrict you, and sometimes I feel like belligerent. I just want to mix you like for your life, you know?
Yeah. Even your neutral is rage bait, bro. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit.
Oh, really?
I actually gave a fuck. I gave a fuck. I mean,
In Rush, you and your opponent share the same combat art, the Steel Hand, which is planned to include an extensive list of attacks and movements which will accommodate many different playstyles. So far, the prototype only has a handful of moves, but even so, every player plays this game differently. With no oppressive gimmicks or matchups, there's nothing standing in the way between you, the other player, and a true test of your skill. This is built by me, a single indie dev, not a salaried team of experienced developers under corporate management. I couldn't have gotten this far without the support of the community, through individual people making small donations, playing the game, and shouting it out on social media. Today I'm asking for your help to truly make this game a reality. Backing this project will allow me to continue working on Rush full-time for a whole year, with the goal of releasing it into Steam Early Access as a complete, satisfactory product with lots of extra room to grow. Like I've said in the past, Rush is made by a 3D fighting game fan for 3D fighting game fans, and I would love nothing more than to have the opportunity to make an awesome, one-of-a-kind fighting game for an awesome, one-of-a-kind community. With your support, I can build the awesome 3D fighter that so many of us have been wanting to play for 20 years. Thank you.